Yogis, welcome back to your practice and to your mat. Okay, I'm calling this one a low and slow flow, which is perfect for recovery. If you're having one of those days where your muscles are tired or you just had a really long day at work and you like something that is a little more mindful and intentional, I think this is perfect for you. Now you can prepare 2 blocks in case you need it for practice today. And let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So you may take your knees apart, maybe your toes come together, okay? Or you can bring your knees together depending on what feels best around your lower back today. And then from here, begin to settle into a couple rounds of breath. So allow the forehead to either rest down onto the mat, or if you prefer, you can make fists, have them stacked over one to the other, and then just rest your forehead down onto your fists. Take a couple breaths here. Notice the flow of your inhales. Notice the flow of your exhales. Let's do at least 3 to 4 breaths here first to start. You may notice a sense of regularity or perhaps irregularity in your breaths. And know that at this point of your practice, we are just merely observing without judging, without putting any form of pressure to find control, and just allowing the body to show up as it is. 2 more rounds of breath here. Last breath here. Now from here, wherever you are, slowly lift the head, come up onto your hands and knees, and then take yourselves forward into all fours. Okay, so you might need to readjust the hands and knees here, getting a little more comfortable in your stance. Let's go ahead and spread out through the fingers. And then as always, we start off with this freestyle movement, whether they are in circular patterns, or maybe you're just allowing the body to explore here. Maybe the natural thing is to gravitate towards some lower back warm-ups or lower back tension release. Maybe you like to allow for space to happen around the shoulders, around the hips. Maybe today you'd like to get into your joints a little more, perhaps your ankles, your heels, your toes. Wherever you are, just giving yourselves 3 slow breaths to move through very slowly and very mindfully here. Almost as if you're giving this opportunity for your body to notice what it needs, and for you to make the choices today that would serve your body throughout your practice, whether it's to modify, to go a little slower, or maybe you're exploring certain things in your practice. Take about 3 more breaths here. Last 2. 1 more like this. Now just find yourselves coming back center, readjust the hands and knees if you need to. Now structured cat-cows, we'll do 3 rounds of this. So inhale, belly drops, heart extends. Exhale, press into the hands as you round through the back. Twice more inhale, you may even go a little slower. Exhale, round. Once more like this. Inhale, open, arch. Exhale, press, make space between the shoulders, and then come back center. So find a neutral spine position. From here, slide the right toes onto the floor behind you. Let's open into a gate pose. So left leg straightens towards the back of your mat, ground down into the left foot, left hand reaches up high. And then you may take the left hand next to your ear, so means your fingers are extending towards the front of your mat. Pause and hold here. You've got about 3. Me here about 2. Bottom hand is taking a little bit more weight. 1 more like this. Inhale here. With your exhale, look down. Left hand comes back down. Left knee returns to the mat. Readjust tabletop. Okay, now switching sides. Left toe step onto the floor. Right leg steps all the way back as you straighten and ground into the foot. Right hand reaches up. And then maybe you're allowing the fingers to move towards the front of your mat. Big stretch into the side body. Breathe here. Let's take just about 3. Take 2. 1 more like this. Inhale here. And a gentle exhale. And looking down, bring that right hand down, right knee lowers, readjust, tabletop. Okay, just one round of cat and cow. Inhale, open. And then exhale, press and round. Now maybe you come up onto your fingertips with your rounded back. Pause and hold. 3, 2, 1. Drop the palms down, find a neutral spine position. And from here, start to walk the hands towards the knees. Keep the toes tucked under. And then begin to press fingertips outside of your knees. Lift the knees off the mat. Allow the heels to press down here. Then immediately round the back as you come all the way up into your standing Tadasana. Once you're here, inhale, both hands reach up. With your exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Now for standing posture here, start to notice the feet pressing down, allowing for at least a couple breaths here first. Maybe you're in stillness, maybe you're shifting weight a little side to side. There will not be a lot of this today. For the majority of your practice today will be pretty close to the ground. So there are many contact points with the mat today. So just for a moment, notice the sensations underneath your feet. 2 more breaths. And take just one more like this. Inhale here. Exhale. Now open your eyes. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And then exhale, soften the knees as you come back down into a forward fold. Rise up halfway, hands to the knees, heart forward. Exhale, soften the knees again. Bring the hands down to the mat. Crawl it all the way forward into a downward facing dog. Also, not a lot of this today. So try to minimize the weight bearing onto the hands today. So at this moment in your first down dog, you may stay in stillness. Your knees can be bent, your heels can be lifted. Or you may be in movement here. Perhaps you're pedaling through the feet. One knee straightens as the other bends. Just finding sensation, finding stretch. Let's do about 3 breaths here. Adding on any other forms of movement that you need in your down dog. Last 2. One more like this. Now settle into stillness. You can keep your knees soft. You can straighten out a little more into your legs. Totally up to you here. But your hands are solidly pressing. Take 3. Take another 2. One more breath in. Breath out. Begin to look forward. Lift the heels. Soften the knees. Walk slowly towards the top of your mat. Okay, so if you need a bit more space, you can rise up onto your fingertips. As you take the feet all the way to the top of your mat. Hands to the knees, half lift. Soften down, exhale, forward folds. Reach and rise all the way up, both hands to the ceiling. And then both hands come down to the heart, prayer, exhale. Pause here, just 2 breaths. One more like this. Now open your eyes. Inhale, both arms sweep up. Exhale, soften down to the mat. Half lift. Inhale, hands to the knees, heart extend. Knees soften again. Fingertips down to the mat. And on your fingertips, step your left leg all the way to the back. Can you shimmy the left foot even further back so you're taking up a bit more space? Then when you're ready, left knee lowers to the mat. Left palm plants firm onto the mat. Right hand goes up. Now you could be here for a couple of breaths. If it's comfortable in your knee and in your hips, you might drop the body weight forward a little more. So you can almost feel like your knee, your front right knee is pushing slightly past that right ankle. Breathe here first. It's okay if the knee is splaying out to the right as well. Take 3, 2, 1. You could stay right here. Maybe your right hand reaches back towards the back wall. Allowing for about 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the right arm up again if it's towards the back. And then from here, right hand down inside of the right foot, so both hands are pretty close together. Come up onto your fingertips. Lift the body a little higher first. And then from here, you're going to pivot your left toes towards the right. So essentially, you're making space to take upper body towards the top left corner of the mat. Now you could be here on your fingertips. If it gets a lot into your right hip, you could even bring the fingers closer to you, body a little higher. Now with your breaths, if you decide to, you might take your hands further away from your body onto the floor on the left side. Breathe here wherever you may land. Pause and hold. You've got about 3. You've got about 2. One more like this. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale to lift the chest. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. From here, we're going to go towards the back of your mat. So fingers crawl towards the long edge first. And then plant your left hand firm at the back of your mat. Remember this gate pose. Right leg straightens out, ground into the right foot. Right hand goes up and maybe over the head towards the back. Now this time in gate pose, I'm going to add on one more thing to notice. Notice the hips, whether it's driving back or if it's comfortable, can you press the hip bones a little further forward, coming into a little bit of an extension. So it's a small back bend here. Breathe. You've got 3. You've got 2. One more like this. Inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and look down, back of your mat. Right palm plants down. Now adjust your left toes behind you. From here, we're going to pull that left knee to your nose. So press into the hands, a little bit of strength in the shoulders as your left knee draws up into your chest or your nose. Pause. 3, 2, 1. From here, can you take your left knee towards the left elbow? So you're opening the hip just a little. 3, 2, 1. Let's settle into a pigeon pose at the back of your mat. So left shin across the front. Right knee lowers onto the mat. Okay. Make adjustments in your body here. We've got a good number of breaths to hold and to rest in pigeon. You could decide to come down, elbows on the mat. You could stay higher, up to you here. You may even bring your forehead all the way down to your mat. So find something that you're able to breathe freely in. And then notice if you're able to feel sensation into the left glutes. Perhaps your muscles releasing, or maybe you're noticing any sort of movement in your fascia, movement through the connective tissues. Take about 5 to 6 breaths here, no rush. Gentle, still 4 more rounds of breath. Just enjoying this moment to encourage a sense of recovery in your body. It is one of those days. 3 more breaths. If you need to lengthen and to pause in poses within this flow, know that you can pause for a moment and then come back in later. So take as much time as you need. 1 or 2 more here. Last one here. Now only when you feel ready, it will start to press up again. So your hands are on the mat. Now from here, lean some weight off towards the left. Okay, so you're allowing the body to roll down towards the left so that you can open towards the long edge of your mat again. So from here, peel open, and you'll end up in this position where right leg is open and straddle. Bring the left foot in towards the hip, so your heel is close to your body. Now from here, just checking for a moment, your right leg is straight, but you can soften the knee, so feel free to bend the knee, pull the heel in a little closer to you. You're pressing the heel firm, your toes are flexing up to the ceiling. Doesn't need to be super active, but it's doing just a little bit of something. Now a block may be handy in this posture. You could have it to the inside of the right knee or perhaps to the outside of the right knee. Okay, so from here, I'm going to lean my upper body down, so my right elbow is going to come down onto the block. It can be any height, so feel free to adjust. I'm going to rest my head into my right hand, and from here, left hand is going to go up. Left hand is going to reach over the head towards the actual front of my mat, so towards the direction of my right foot. Now the goal is not to grab that right foot, of course, but you're going to find this extension through that left side body, perhaps even peeling the left elbow back to open to the ceiling. Breathe here. We'll take about 4 or 5 breaths. Can you activate just a little into that right foot so it's not completely passive? 3 more breaths. Take another 2 here. Just soften, notice where sensations are felt the most in your stillness. 1 final one. Inhale here. And a slow exhale. Now start to make your way up again, all the way back up to your seat. Set the block aside. And then from here, we're going to pivot to face the front of your mat. So step the left foot onto the mat. Your fingers are supporting you next to your hips. Turn the body towards the front. Okay, so right leg stays forward. Left knee is bent, left foot is stepping onto the mat. From here, go ahead and cross that left foot outside of the right knee. Left fingertips behind you, right hand floats up. Exhale, we're coming into a spinal twist. So you could either hug right elbow around the right elbow around the left knee, or hook. So the elbow perhaps going to the outside of the left knee. Left fingertips continue to press behind you so your spine grows tall here. Wherever you are, continue to breathe. Just about 4 breaths. Your right toes remain active throughout. Be here. Another 3. Take another 2. 1 last breath in. Slow breath out. Release from the twist. Bring the left foot back to the left side. Now from here, fingertips are going to press outside of your hips. Can you bend into the right knee enough that you can step right foot firm onto the front of the mat? Press the fingertips down. Shift weight forward to the right leg. Fingertips forward, and you can use your 2 blocks here to support. Step up onto the right leg. Kick the left leg all the way back. Standing L. Now everything can be a little soft if you prefer, yeah? Hold 3, 2, 1. Feet will land together. Forward fold, top of your mat. Come up into a half lift. Inhale here. Exhale to soften down. Let's rise all the way up. Inhale. Bring the hands to the heart. Exhale. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale to take it down. Knees are soft. Half lift. Hands to the knees again. Now with your exhale, fingertips down to the mat. This time, right leg all the way to the back. Scooch the foot all the way back, as far back as you're able to get it, and then set that right knee down to the mat. Right palm is planted firm onto your mat as your left hand peels up. So again here, you might take the hips a little further forward. So left front knee might go a little further past the ankle. You might even open a little to the left, and that's okay. Breathe here first. Take about 3 breaths to pause. Take another 2. 1 more here. Inhale. And then you could stay right here, or you could take left hand towards the back, essentially making space into the top of the left shoulder. Breathe here for just a moment. You've got about 3, 2, and 1. Take the left hand back up first. Left hand down inside of the left foot. From here, come up onto your fingers. Press the body back a little first, okay? So you're making space. Now from here, pivot the right toes behind you. So right toes moving towards the left side. And then your hands, your fingers crawl to the top right corner. So once again, you could be as high as you need to here. So hands are closer towards your chest. Maybe with time and with your breaths, you'll start to lower the body and the fingers moving out towards the top right corner of your mat. Okay, we'll take a couple breaths. We pause here first. Allow for another 3. Notice that left hip, another 2. And a final breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the head, bring the fingers close to you underneath your chest. And then from here, we'll start to turn towards the back. Okay, so find your way coming towards the opposite side of the mat. Now your right palm grounds down, and then go ahead and straighten out that left leg. Peeling your left hand towards the ceiling, and then take the hand over the head, coming into that side bend again. So again here, you could stay with the hips exactly where it is, or you could press the hips a little further forward, and that will encourage the chest to open to the ceiling just a little more, with the fingers reaching over the head. Pause and hold. You've got about 3. We've got about 2. 1 more like this. Inhale here. Exhale. Looking down to your mat, left palm down next to the right. Adjust your right toes behind you. Now this time, you're going to press the right knee towards your nose or towards your chest. If possible, keep the shoulders a little further forward, just a little bit of strength here. 3, 2, 1, and then open the right knee so it's closer to the elbow, just for 1 breath. And then with your exhale, set the right shin down, pigeon pose. Left knee all the way back and down to the mat. Okay, from here, make adjustments first. Make sure you're comfortable and you're able to feel your right glutes. And then exhale, transition down for a long hold in pigeon pose. So finding your version of a pigeon pose here. And settle in. You could be high up. You could be all the way down to your forehead. Let's allow for a couple more breaths, encouraging the sense of softness, especially in your upper body. Let's take maybe 4 to 5 more. Every breath is intentionally giving you a sense of release, whether it's physical, whether it's something beyond that. Three more to pause here. Last 2 gentle breaths. One more. Take your time on this last one. And start to press up slowly here, hands on the mat. Lean some weight off to the right so that you can peel the body open to the long edge of your mat. Okay, so from here, opening up. This time your left leg is in straddle. Your right foot pulls in close towards you. Okay, so make any adjustments here. Make sure that your body is comfortable. So again, here your left knee can bend. It doesn't need to be fully straight, but a little bit of engagement of the heel pressing down and the toes lifted up. You can prepare your block here. So maybe the block is inside of the knee, maybe it's outside, maybe it's low, maybe it's high. So now this time we're going to lean off towards that left side. I'll place my elbow down onto the block and I'll place my head into my hand. So once I'm comfortable in this position, my right arm floats up and then I'm going to take it over to the direction of my left foot. But of course, there's this sense of lift here without collapsing, and maybe even right elbow drawing even more back. Pause here just for a couple breaths. Let's do maybe about 4 to 5 slow breaths. Just be here for a moment. We're not often in shapes like this, so allowing for time and space to pass us through here. Let's take about 3 to 4 more breaths. Last 2 here. One final breath. Now upper body rise all the way back up. Set your block off to the side. Let's pivot to face the front. So right foot steps onto the mat. Turn to face the front of your mat. Okay, so pivot your way around. Extended leg remains the same. Now your right foot is stepping onto the mat. Go ahead and cross it outside of the left. Okay, from here, right fingertips go behind you, left hand floats up. So you're twisting to the right this time. Maybe you're hugging the right knee in. Maybe you're coming into a hook, similar to the first side. Okay, keep on flexing the extended toes up to the ceiling here. As your right fingertips press down to lengthen the spine, breathe just for about 3 slow breaths. Give yourselves another 2. And we're at our final breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently release. Face the front. Bring the right foot back to the right side. And then similarly, like the first side, fingertips cup down. Bend into the left knee. Pull the heel back. And then see if you can press the left foot firm to the mat. Press the fingertips down, lift the butt, shift weight all the way forward. Again, you could have your blocks here. And then kick the right leg back into a standing L. Pause for a moment here. You can soften out your knees. Take 2. One last breath in. Now instead of a forward fold, can you step your right foot to the back? Press the palms down. Step your left leg to down dog. So as you return into your down dog, give yourself some moment here to stretch into your low back. Maybe also your hamstrings, your calves, your ankles and your heels. Give yourselves just another 3 breaths. Pause and hold. Last breath or 2. And final one here, inhale. Now gently set the knees down. Untuck the toes and sit all the way back, child's pose. Returning to the space where we began our practice in. Take a couple breaths to just breathe here. Now if you prefer to take your hands back alongside your hips, you can do that. So a little bit more of a rounded shoulder position. And allowing for about 3 to 4 breaths. And give yourselves one last breath here. And then softly roll the body back up. We'll take hero's pose, or you could transfer the feet forward. Take Sukhasana, up to you, okay? Now just give yourselves a moment in a tall, seated position. Shoulders are soft. Your eyes can fall closed for this final closing moments. Allowing for about 2 or 3 breaths here. You may be in observation of how you're feeling at this moment. You may be taking mental notes as to how perhaps the body and the breath has changed from the start of the practice to this point of the practice. 1 or 2 more breaths here. Now exhale out all the breath. Next inhale, take in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in, stay. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. And release everything. Come back to your own natural breathing. You may place one hand to the heart and one to the belly. Just notice your breath. Notice the changes. And then softly bring the hands to prayer at your heart. A gentle bow of the chin down. And then from here, bring your prayer hands up towards your forehead. Big inhale. With your exhale, bow all the way down to your mat. Namaste, yogis. I'll see you in the next practice.